Good morning. Welcome to this edition of Up to the Minute. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Sade Campbell, the Strategic Enrollment Communications and Social Media Manager here at HCC. Pleased to be joined by my co-host this morning, Dr. Darren Baskin, who is the Interim Officer of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion here at HCC. Good morning, Darren.
Sade, good morning.
Listen, you just wanted to come in with a little drama with the emphatic pause. I was like, hold on now, wait a minute.
Yes. You know how we do it, so it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Well, let's kick off things by letting people know how to find us.
All right. So we're live on Houston Community College District Facebook page, not the HCC page. We're also on YouTube. And guess what? You can also find us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Well, we're doing a little flipperoo today.
Okay.
We're gonna kick it off with you with our Thursday Family Fun Day guest, and we're talking about a good event just in time for summer. So I'm gonna kick it over to you and your guest, Rene Vasquez, who's the director of Fort Bend Animal Services.
Oh, perfect. Look, we are going to jump right into this. Hello, Rene. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So you're joining us from the Fort Bend Animal Services, and you are our Thursday Family Fun Day guest. Welcome.
Awesome. I appreciate the invite. Thank you.
Yes, we're happy to have you here. So it looks like you guys are going to have some fun in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we are we're putting on a what we feel really cool adoption event. It's a beach Paw-ty type part. So it's kind of cute. It's PAW-TY. And we're going to be at the Fort Bend County Fairgrounds from 10 to 3. And it's going to be on June the 3rd. And we're going to have just, a bunch of different giveaways. We're going to have fun things for the kids. We want to do some door prizes, some baskets, and of course, a lot of adoptions for our pets.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And I love a good spin on a name. Paw-ty, I love it. That is where it's at. And it draws you in as well. So that's amazing. And so why is this adoption event important?
Oh, because we feel like we're, no pun intended, we feel like we're drowning right now. We have so many animals here at the shelter. We truly are probably 200 animals over capacity. We're struggling. The strays continue to come in. We're an open municipal shelter. So these animals we pick up as strays, or they're being dropped off, or so on and so forth. And we're the only source for them. And so what we do here is once we get them all checked in and give them shots, get them ready, get them spay and neutered, and we have been struggling to get them adopted out. And so we feel that big events like this gives them an opportunity to get out of the shelter and also, meet different families, and hopefully we can find them a loving home.
Oh, and that's really sad to say. And I've been seeing articles that are saying that the animal shelters are being overrun with just a lot of animals. People are just not being very nice these days as it relates to animals. And so I'm really hoping that this event will bring in a lot of great people so you can definitely get some good adoptions out of it. Because that's very important as well. And so, and I'll say a little birdie told me that you have a friend with you.
Yeah, give me one. We'll take a second. Yeah, so we have cute little kitten here.
Aww.
She's super friendly and super cute. She's probably about 5 or 6 weeks old. And
wow.
So we'll be taking, we'll have a lot of dogs. We'll also have cats. We never not take them as well. They'll be in a different section there at the shelter. At this time, we probably have around 256 dogs, which is a lot. And we probably have around 70 cats. So it's kitten season right now. So we should have plenty of kittens that we can swing by and have there for adoption. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Have you named him yet? Him or her? I'm sorry.
No, it just came in yesterday. So yeah, it doesn't have, it's a sibling, I believe, about around 5 kittens. So 5 brothers and sisters. So yes.
So at the end of our interview, I'm going to name him for you. Okay.
There you go. All right, that'll work.
So who will be participating in the adoption event?
So we have a few of our local shelters here in Fort Bend County. So the city of Rosenberg, Animal Control will be there, and the city of Sugar Land, Animal Control will be there. And so we'll all have our own spaces and our own pets, but we'll function, as one big adoption event. We hope to maybe have, if we can have, 75, dogs and cats there, that would be a really good turnout for us. So.
Oh, good. Yeah. And we're going to push it out just so we can help you reach that goal.
We appreciate it. Yes, sir.
So what is the fee to adopt, and what services will the animals have?
So right now we'll be waiving all of our fees. So basically,
Rene, you better say that again and say it louder.
So we'll be waiving all of our fees. So the pets will technically, you won't have a price for them, and they'll be fixed. So they'll be spay and neutered. They'll have all their shots. They'll have their rabies shot, and they'll also have microchips. We want to make the application super easy at the event. So if you come by, it shouldn't take long. If you find your loving pet, we'll take a picture, put it on our social media, and then we go with that. Because of our 501c3 pause, that allows us to be able to do a lot of, our free type adoption events. There are 501c3 that is dedicated just to our shelter. And so they always help us. They offset our money and our budget, and that we can't, things we can't do, like we start running out of dog food and so on and so forth. So because of them, we're able to, to be able to waive some of our fees as well. So yes.
And, that's amazing. It's always good to hear about organizations that are helping organizations, and the adoption of pets. For a lot of us, we grew up young with pets. And so to be able to now go out and adopt, it's a great thing too. I'll just tell you this right up front. I am allergic to cats. So if I were to adopt, it would not be a cat. I can tell you that right up front. But I think you guys are doing some amazing work over there. So how many shelters will be participating? And you've already told us how many animals. Can you give us an estimate on how many animals you think might be adopted?
So we did one back in December, and we adopted out, I believe in I think it was around 65, 75 animals total. So we're hoping, we hope. I know it's the summertime. I know it's the beginning of summer, and maybe some people will be on vacation, but I know that other people will be home. So maybe this would be a great opportunity for someone to spend time as soon as you adopt a pet, and kind of, get acclimated on, how the pet's going to be at home, instead of getting something, everyone goes back to school. So this would be a good time if someone wanted to, do an adoption or foster to adopt, and see how everything is, and be able to have a little bit more time during the summer. So we're hoping. I'd love to adopt 100 animals. That would be an amazing goal, but we definitely need, people like you and organizations like you, to spread the word, because that's what makes it hard for us to. How many people can we reach out, and how can we reach out, all the folks to be able to come by and adopt cute kittens like these?
Oh, see, and we have a great following here at Up to the Minute, so we will definitely make sure we get the word out. We will share. And now for the grand finale, we have a name for the new kitten. Is the drum roll. And because you said he's so sweet and nice, we have to give him a very hard name, so no other kitten would mess with him. So we're gonna call him Monster.
Monster. I was gonna say, let me write this down, but I'll remember that one.
His name is Monster. We
Awesome.
want everybody to be afraid of him. So
okay.
There's Monster coming.
There you go.
So Rene, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the work that you do with animals. It is definitely needed work, and we appreciate it. And we enjoyed having you as our Thursday Family Fun Day guest.
I appreciate it so much. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Sade, are you ready to adopt?
No. I believe they need a better home than I can offer. Animals are a real responsibility. I just always stand in awe. I do believe that God gives certain people a heart for them. And they are designed for it, and they are equipped for it. Hey, listen, I watch him from afar. The kitten was cute though. That was a funny name.
Yes, yes.
Do you have animals?
I do not. I don't have any. And it's only because I have really bad allergies. And so I was ready to get one. And then next thing you know, I'm stabbing myself with an EpiPen, you know? So.
That is not the move. I do want to confirm with our producers who can maybe drop by a chat. Has our additional guest had an opportunity to join in, or does the audience want more banter from Darren and I?
We got it.
All right, we got the confirmation that our guest was able to join. So I would like to welcome to the show Johannes Huber, who is our professor of HCC Digital Gaming and Simulation. Welcome to the show, Johannes.
How do you do? How are you doing?
Awesome. So happy we were able to get over Murphy's Law technical challenge type issues this morning. And we want to kick. Yeah.
I had to cheat and go to my big computer instead of the laptop.
Well, at least you had a backup plan. Well, we want to kick off some things by allowing you to show some work by you and our students. But first, let's get an overview of our digital gaming and simulation program. I do want to say this, when we look at what's happening generationally, gaming is so big with Gen Z. We see the rise of platforms around Switch, and then you hear from parents like, well, maybe if you can make money from that gaming, it'll be worth all the time you spend on it, right? So many don't know that HCC with our locations has an opportunity for people to hone the skill set beyond a hobby. So digital gaming is a very special program here. So let's kick things off by letting people know what our program offers.
Okay. Well, we actually work on every spectrum. Games aren't just entertainment anymore. They're ways of training people in almost any industry, increasing safety, increasing efficiency of work, all of that. And so it covers a much broader spectrum than just the entertainment industry, which is my background. And that's part of what makes it so exciting, is that one doesn't have to go into conventional gaming. The skills will still be the same, no matter what you're doing. You can go into any number of different areas, because people have this feeling that, they need to have a serious job and all of that. Well, no, you don't, first off, of course. But second off, if that is what you want, the same skills that we teach for, making a video game for a company such as Electronic Arts or Activision or any of those, will be the same things that you might use if you're helping do a training simulation for someone down in the medical center, such as Memorial Hermann, or if you're working with one of the universities on something like project safety, if they're working with oil and gas or anything like that. So it's a marvelously broad skill set in terms of what you can apply it to.
I would have to agree. I'm so glad you shared that. One of my first jobs out of college was I was working for a military contractor, and they were developing a game to train the troops on the Horn of Africa, because many don't know this. Two things they may not know: Djibouti is a country in Africa, and we have a naval base there. So they were training troops on the Horn of Africa from a cultural perspective, and I come in as one of the script writers for kind of that scenario-based training. So there is a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things also people underestimate. They think that, oh, Houston, there's no game industry here. It's like, actually, there's an enormous one. It just may not be where they're looking. They may be looking for, as I said, Electronic Arts or Activision, but there are a number of developers here, both in the entertainment industry and in such things as medicine, oil and gas, and of course, NASA is here, which is a very exciting place to develop for. We've done some projects to show off to them that we're hoping to show them over the weekend at Comic Palooza, since they're visiting there, where we had the students build some of the actual rockets from the 1950s through 1970s.
Wow, that's phenomenal. And, you mentioned a lot of different industries, really setting the framework for opportunity in this area. And I'm sure our students are getting some simulation-based and real-world type opportunities in the space. So as our producers share some of the work from our students, what opportunities have students had what spaces have they had to opportunity to create work in?
Well, we've had a number of students who've gone on to do work at one or more of the game companies that actually are here, but we've also had several go on to be working in architecture firms, because one of the important things before you, of course, build a $100 million building is that you have to see what it's going to look like. And there are a lot of people who have to sign off on it so it looks right, it works, all those things, all the safety features are there and everything else. We've had several also go on into, medical work, and some also go into, I believe they weren't talking about it too much because we're not allowed to, but they were talking with, joining up with one of the companies working with the military for medical simulations.
Right. And, I think this brings back to the conversation, so many conversations around tech, big data, AI, so many conversations around these topics, but art is such a big part of it plays just such a big role in society and how it enhances our lives. How are you seeing that intersection of art, gaming, and contributions to different industries?
Well, I think actually, that's one of the most interesting parts, is that certainly we can do all the big tech stuff. We can also do the individual tech, particularly with the advent of the internet. The world is the marketplace today and also the forum of today. So if you have something that you wish to communicate, which is what art really is about, just like science or philosophy, it's about communicating. You have the ability to reach people all around the world. And this is one of the important things, because art gives us an alternate means of communication from, non-coordinated speech or anything like that, something where we're not giving a presentation. A piece of art is another way of speaking. The old and somewhat cliche saying about a picture being worth 1,000 words is actually, in my opinion, kind of conservative. It's probably more like 10 or 100,000 words. And people need to be able to have art available to them. It's something that reaches far deeper into society than just a pretty picture that we look at for one moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And in your discussion of arts and stories, you say people think of Joseph Campbell's Heroes with 1,000 Faces. Do you think that's still applicable?
Absolutely. Now, we have to remember that Mr. Campbell was working in a time before the internet, so he had to actually go to all the places that he was researching. So he had a big disadvantage over the people exploring this based on his work. But I think that art and story are, if anything, more important today than they were when he was first doing this, because there's so many more ideas available to us, and stories and art give us a way to contextualize them. They give us a way to learn from them more easily instead of just taking the raw data.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that may get neglected in the consideration of going to a community college is the wealth of resources from our professors. I'm hearing it in everything that you are sharing, and aware based on the questions that you have done quite a bit of work in different areas. So let's have a quick discussion about your career beyond HCC and what you've published and presented, so our students can understand what opportunities have happened for you on your career track.
Okay. Always embarrassing to talk about myself. I started out in this industry completely by accident. I didn't plan to get into it. This was back in '97. And my first projects were in the Star Trek intellectual property, doing video games for that. And I had a lot of fun with that. It was a wonderful first experience. And to this day, I thank my very patient mentors who guided me as I got into this business. I've worked a lot in both, primarily in film and in video games. However, I've also done work for both oil and gas and for medical research. One of the most exciting projects I worked on was for a local pharmaceutical company where we actually took a series of CT scans. Those are the layered scans that you get of the whole body, 1 millimeter at a time or something. And we were actually able to reconstruct a cancer and get its exact shape so that a physician could then plan the surgical approach so they could minimize the strain on the patient and maximize the effect of the actual operation. Even more interestingly, because the cancer had actually done something unusual in that it actually turned in a loop-the-loop sort of thing around the person's collarbone. And by visualizing this beforehand, which they hadn't been able to do without having it in a three-dimensional model, this made the operation something they could prepare for more effectively than if they hadn't known that piece of information to begin with. So that was really a lot of very exciting work. I was lucky enough to get to work with my mother, who's a physician, on that one. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that is fascinating. And thank you so much for sharing. It is always odd to share about yourself. And I think a lot of people in higher ed connect with the fact that we kind of started here on accident. So we thank you so much for your time and for joining the show. For those who are joining, we've been talking with Johannes Huber, who is a HCC professor of digital gaming and simulation. We'll have information about the program posted after the show. Thank you so much for joining us, Johannes.
Thank you so much.
All right, Darren, it's time for news, events, and announcements.
Well, good. And that was a great conversation you had. So, gaming is very important to the generations of today. And so I think it's an amazing that we even have that program here at the college. So it's exciting. But yes.
It is.
Yes, let's get to these news, events, and announcements. Okay. So congratulations, and he is a friend of mine, to Mehmet Argan, who is now the Dean of HCC's Engineering Center of Excellence. Woohoo! I was hoping that there was going to be some flashing confetti behind me when I said it, but I guess I need to set that prop up for next time, Sade. Dr. Argan joined HCC in 2017 as a full-time instructor in the engineering COE. He served in the faculty senate and was a member of the Chancellor's Innovative Leadership Academy. Dr. Mehmet earned his PhD from Arizona State University. He was the former dean of the Global Energy COE. We congratulate you, and we look forward to working with you in the HCC engineering program.
Yes, congratulations, Dr. Argan. I was on a Chancellor's Leadership Academy with him, so definitely a colleague, and happy to just see him advancing and adding his contributions. He's an incredible asset to the institution. Well, we are moving to an announcement about a Brave Conversation series hosted by our Counseling and Ability Service. This edition will be focused on women's perspectives, creating a space for brave conversation on women's sexual health. It'll be held virtually on Zoom Friday, June 9th at 11 a.m. Be sure to check the post after the show for details.
Oh, amazing. And again, another one of my favorite things that we do at the college, these IT summer camps. These STEM camps are amazing, Sade. HCC's Digital and IT COE is inviting middle and high school students to take part in these STEM IT summer camps to explore apples with coding, cybersecurity, drone building and flying, and also VR, virtual reality. Week-long camps aim to offer underserved communities the latest technologies and pathways to high-impact tech careers. And guess what, Sade? One of our favorite words.
For free.
For free. The camps are free. And they also include lunch.
There you go. Every time I see something come up online about it, I'm shooting it to my friends with kids. So definitely a great opportunity. Yes. West Houston Leadership Breakfast will be hosted by HCC at our West Houston Institute. It'll be a networking breakfast in June. The keynote speaker will be new District 133 Representative Manuel Diaya, who is serving his first session in the Texas House of Representatives. His district includes the Houston Energy Corridor, home to the global headquarters of several prominent companies. It'll be happening from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Wednesday, June 21st at our Spring Branch campus. Excuse me, I got the campus wrong. It'll be happening at our Spring Branch campus. Be sure to check details after the show.
Oh, great. So, and here's another one of our favorite things, Sade. Memorial Day weekend is coming up. So we have to first say that there will be no up to the minute because we're having a 3-day weekend. And HCCTV is reminding everyone that when HCC commemorates a Memorial Day, which is next Monday, there will be no up to the minute that day. But Monday, May 29th, get ready to enjoy your holiday and to prepare for summer. That's the barbecue season. That's the start of barbecue season, Sade.
Indeed it is. And for those who are wondering, hey, it's the start of summer, fall and summer registration are open. So be sure to check out and secure your course, professor, location, and all the classes that you need for your degree plan, whether it's an in-person or online option. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, you are encouraged to visit hccs.edu. Apply. Now, remembering that we won't be here on Monday, but we will be continuing our commemoration of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month when we welcome Up to the Minute co-host and guest, Dr. Lana Piago, the Communications Director of HCC Northwest, who's an ethnic mix of Filipino, Polynesian, and European, has those backgrounds, excuse me. It'll also be filmed Friday tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that special guest either. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. We'll see you next time.